What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the cat in the hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo of StyleArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And welcome to another Discourse in Dress, where I give you some expressions for your ensemble and some sonnets for your style. Today and this week, we're going to be talking all about the mask that we wear when it comes to our style. Now, you're going to want to stick around for this because this is going to get a little bit deeper when we start talking about style for all you stylistically inclined dudes. But before we get started, if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. If you find the information beneficial, please consider subscribing. I would love to be a character in your style story. If you have already subscribed, then you know I appreciate you as well. And now there is only one thing left to do, and that is hit that notification bell, and that way you will be notified each and every time new content comes out. So what does it really mean to wear a mask? Well, of course, we're going to be staying in line with the Halloween theme. So we are going to have a little bit of fun in the middle of the week talking about different costumes that you can try on, or you can add to your style for Halloween or for the weekend going into Halloween. But before then, I wanted to have a conversation about masks. Now, when it comes to clothing, a lot of times you'll hear me talk about suits being your armor, outerwear giving you protection, but clothing also can mask certain things. It can mask physical elements, and that's a good thing. It can, help you with your symmetry. And we talked about that briefly 2 weeks ago when we were talking about fit and silhouette, how things can end up being protected, shielded, and masked in those different types of situations. But it also can end up masking your personality. It can mask those elements of you that you actually want to shine through. And what a lot of guys end up doing when they are following fashion trends or when they are following somebody else's lead is that they start to lose themselves. It's kind of like when you see the young ladies, on any one of the social media platforms, and they can put a filter over their face, and then you see them in real life. It's not that they aren't attractive or they still aren't beautiful. It's that that filter has changed your perception of how you were seeing them. Well, the same thing goes along when it comes to our clothing. If we are putting something on and we are trying to project a certain presentation or a certain viewpoint or a certain attitude, then what can end up happening is we can end up misrepresenting ourselves and then come off fake or disingenuous. And so that's something that I don't ever want any guy that is trying to show up in style to do. It's far better for you to be simple, for you to be basic, for you to be understated, and all of those different types of things, but refine them and make sure that they are sophisticated, tasteful, and expressive within their own right, than to try to be extra and try to be cool or suave or whimsical or any one of those different types of things, knowing that you aren't going to be able to sustain or maintain that character. And in my opinion, it's about time that we took the mask off. So just bear that in mind, that we're going to be talking about that the rest of this week, in addition to some different masks that you can put on for Halloween. But I did want you to get into that mind frame and to go ahead and set the tone for the conversation. So go ahead and start thinking about that, and leave me some comments in the comment box talking to me about any time that you may have masked or put a mask on when it's come to you developing your style story. I know I have. Just a quick tidbit. I was in my early 20s. I was a guy who was really starting to fall in love with soft tailored clothing. And some friends were like, in Texas, nobody dresses up like this. You're doing too much. So I went out and got t-shirts and jeans and some fitted caps and did all these different types of things. And it was cool. I got love from new folks, but all the folks who knew me and knew what I was really about were like, yo, man, why you faking and why you fronting? That's not a good look. And that's not the character and the person that we've come to know. So I had to switch back and be myself. And what it ended up costing me to a certain degree was looking kind of fake and disingenuous. Luckily, I had some friends who were willing to pull me off the ledge and get me right back into being me. And that is my goal for you, to help you find yourself, solidify yourself, so that you can ultimately express yourself. So if that helps you or that feeds you in any type of way, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It'll help the channel to grow. Please make sure that you share this with a friend. There's some guys who are afraid to take that mask off because they've become so accustomed to wearing one, and we want to give them that freedom and that opportunity to do better now. Also, don't forget that we are here every Monday through Saturday at 6:30 p.m. And lastly, please don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the outward expression of a man's state of mind, so you should always dress to express. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.